Hi guys! Hello, little ones. I hope you're joining me for some Play-Doh fun. Ugh, being stuck in the house kind of sucks, huh? I'm stuck in the house too. That's why you might hear a little pitter-patter of little feet, and those are just my little tiny dogs walking around. Maybe they'll join us later. But I'm so excited to have some fun with you guys today and get creative because sometimes when you're stuck inside, you're looking for new things to do that aren't so boring. So usually at the bakery, we have a bakery called Crumby Art. I make a lot of fun things out of fondant. And fondant is kind of like edible clay. You use it as frosting. But today, we're going to have some fun together making some cool things out of Play-Doh. And I actually don't have a lot of Play-Doh at my house, so I'm very, very limited right now. So I'm just going to be working with 5 colors. So you can work with any colors you have. It doesn't have to be specific. We're going to get creative, and it's going to be cool. Hello. If there's any little ones that want me to say your name, just say hi to me, and I'll say your name out loud, okay? All right. So first things first. Does everybody have their Play-Doh? Are we good? Are we ready? Maybe we'll wait for a few of our friends to get ready. You're going to work on a surface. Do not work on carpet. That will make mom and dad very, very angry. But you can work on a table of any kind or in your counter. We're going to start with one color of our choice, okay? So I'm going to start with this purpley color. You can grab any color you want. It totally doesn't matter. Okay, and we're going to grab some Play-Doh out. And we're going to need, I have this big glob, but I just need one that's like the size of a bouncy ball. Like not a huge bouncy ball, but like one that you get from a quarter machine. I don't know if you guys would know what that is. You guys might be too little. So here, I'm going to make a ball and I'm going to show you kind of the size that I want you to make. So something similar to this, okay? About that, like a clown nose. So you just need, hi Julia and Miles and Camden. So we need a bouncy ball. Now you see mine has a bunch of cracks in it. I don't want that to happen later, so that means it needs to be kneaded. So if you have a lot of cracks in your Play-Doh, you just need to knead it. And knead it means to squish it and to stretch it to make it softer. So if you have a lot of cracks in your Play-Doh, it might be that it's too dry or it just needs to be kneaded. So we're just kneading our fondant, not our fondant, our Play-Doh. Kneading our Play-Doh. And then after you squish it up, it's a lot easier to roll a ball. Hi, Lucy and Danny. Hi, guys. So now I can roll a ball and it's a lot smoother. And yours might not be that smooth, and that's totally okay. All right, so does everybody have a smooth ball? Are you ready? Any color? It's like the bouncy ball, like a clown nose. Okay, now I'm gonna break this in half. I'm not gonna cut it or be really slow about it. I'm just gonna look at it and I'm just gonna kind of see what makes sense. And that looks pretty even to me, right? I mean, this one has a little bit more, but I just need 2 halves. So I need you to make 2 halves from your one ball, and we're gonna put one piece down, and then with our other one, we're gonna roll that into a nice ball, okay? So the other piece will come back to later. You just keep that down. Right now, we're just gonna roll this into a nice ball. Does everybody have a nice ball? And it's just a little bit smaller of a clown nose than what we had earlier. Now it's like Rudolph, okay? So if everybody has a ball, now what we have to do to this ball is we have to turn it into a caterpillar, not a worm. Worms are like long and skinny, and I don't know if you've ever made a worm with Play-Doh before. It starts to break. A caterpillar is gonna be like chubby, and like it's not gonna fall apart. So I'm gonna roll it, and it's gonna be about the size of my pinky. But if you're smaller than me, it might be the size of your pointer finger. So for me, it's a pinky, but for you, it's probably your pointer finger. And see how it's kind of chubby? And I don't want it to look like the very hungry caterpillar, like he just had an apple. So any little chubby spots, I'm gonna roll out so it's as even as possible, okay? Like a Cheeto. All right, does everybody have a caterpillar? We're gonna put our caterpillar in the palm of our hand. And you should name your caterpillar. Everybody name their caterpillar. I'm going to name my caterpillar Garbanzo because I like that name. It's actually the name of a bean, which we have a lot in our cabinet right now because they do not perish, but there's probably some Freds or some Jacks out there. What did you name your caterpillar, you guys? Whatever you named it, be proud. Put it in your palm. Such a cool caterpillar. Unfortunately, we have to smash this caterpillar just once, and not super skinny. See how it's kind of flat, but it's still thick, so we need it to be thick. So now it's kind of like a tongue, okay? So everybody should have like this long, almost flat, kind of chubby tongue situation going on. Does everybody have that? Yay! Okay, JJ and Julia caterpillars. Okay, now it's tongues. Now, we have a top, we have a bottom, and a round. This next part we are only doing on the top from one side to the other. You're going to take whatever hand you like to draw with or scribble with, or Xander named his caterpillar Jerry. That's a good name, Xander. So you're going to take whatever hand you write with, and you're going to take your pointer finger and your thumb, and we're going to make pinching, okay? So from one side to the other, only on the top, we're going to pinch it. So we're going to pinch to make it skinny on top, and then we're going to pinch right next to that, and we're going to keep pinching all across. And your pinches might look different than mine because you have tinier fingertips, and that's okay. So you're just going to pinch all along the top. So see, the top is skinny, but the bottom's still kind of chubby, and it looks like an empanada. Empanadas are delicious. If you haven't had one, tell your parents to make you one because they get to have fun in the kitchen for a few days. So say, Mom, Dad, make me an empanada. You won't regret it, I promise. Okay, so does everybody have a nice pinched top empanada? Okay, now this next part is a little stressful, so breathe, okay? I'm going to take one side of my pinched empanada and I'm going to curl it in, okay? And then I'm going to keep rolling it and rolling it and rolling it and rolling it. So on the top, it looks like a rose, like the start of a flower. But I want my flower to be open a little bit and not so close. And everybody's flower is going to look different. It won't look exactly like mine or whoever's next to you. That's okay. So if you have a toothpick or a pencil or a paintbrush or even your fingertip is fine, something small, just to carefully push back the petals on your rose so it looks a little bit more open. Okay? Good job, guys. We're going to put this to the side because we're not done with it yet. Okay? What does a Play-Doh rose smell like? Interesting. Okay. I'm going to put that down. Now remember that piece you broke from your ball earlier? That other piece of the same color? So we are going to need to break that. We're going to do some math right now. You're probably all doing school from home right now. So we need to break this one piece into 4 pieces. So, and they have to all kind of be the same size. So I have my one piece and I'm going to break it in half. So I have 2 pieces and they're about the same size. Now I'm going to break each of these halves in halves. So I have 4 quarters. So there's 1/2 making a quarter. And then I have the other half making a quarter. So I have these 4 pieces and we need to roll them all into spheres, okay? So I'm gonna roll this one and have a nice ball about the size of a marble. So that's 1. Now we're gonna grab our next piece, roll that into a ball. 2. Okay, let's get our next piece. Roll that into a ball. 3. And then our next piece, roll that into a ball. 4. So I have these 4 balls. Now, the next tricky part is we have to make these into raindrops. Everybody does this a little different, and I want you to do whatever's easiest for you. I am going to take my fingertips and I'm going to kind of hold it at the top of the ball and I'm going to start rolling. Rolling very, very gently so that it makes a raindrop. Now, other people, if that's too hard for you, some people take their pinchers and they pinch it so that it looks like that or like that, and then they turn it and they pinch it again, and then they're able to roll their pinches. So then that makes a raindrop too. So whatever's easiest, maybe you found a different way to do it, just make those 4 pieces into raindrops, okay? Is it raining outside today? I don't think it's raining today. What colors are you guys using? I have purple raindrops, which is very reminiscent of an 80s song called Purple Rain that all your parents probably know. Okay, so 4 raindrops. Now, I'm going to take one of my raindrops, I'm going to put it in the palm of my hand, I'm going to take my thumb, and I am going to squish it so that it flattens the raindrop, whoops, but it still kind of has like that peak, okay? But it's still kind of chubby. It's not super, super skinny. So we're going to have 4 flattened raindrops. One of my raindrops tried rolling away. Where did it go? Here it is. Okay, so in the palm of my hand, flatten it. Okay, we're going to do that to all 4 of our raindrops, okay? Okay. Does everybody have 4 flattened raindrops? Are we good? Okay, so remember the pinching we did at the top before we made our rows? We're gonna have to do that with our raindrops now. So the pointy part of the raindrop is actually gonna be our bottom. So it's upside down. And I'm gonna take my pinchers and I'm gonna go all around. So I'm gonna pinch the side of that and pinch right next to it. And you might have to do way more pinches than I do because your fingertips are tinier, and that's totally cool. Pinch the raindrop, and then in the middle I'm going to pinch it once too, and it kind of makes this flower petal. So it's just this very delicate, you don't want to stretch it because it could break, this very delicate flower petal. So we're going to do that to all 4. We're going to take our flattened raindrop, hold it upside down, and pinch all around it, and then also in the middle. Nice, pretty flower petals. And they all look a little bit different. None of my flower petals are exactly the same. Pinch, pinch. Ooh, blue, yellow, and black. That is going to be a really cool looking creation once we're done with this. Okay, holding my raindrop upside down, pinching. Okay, so I have 4 flower petals, and I have my rose from earlier, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up one of the flower petals, and I'm going to push it against the side of my rose and make it stick to it, okay? And then right next to that one, I'm going to take my other flower petal, and I'm going to push it on. And then look it, we have that one. And then you're going to take your other one. And so your 4 flower petals will go all around your rose. And everybody's rose is going to look different. And that's cool. It's going to be so cool. Just like people. We're all people, but we all look different. Flowers in a garden, they're all flowers, but they all look different. And this is my rose. I can't wait to see what yours look like. Make sure your mom and dad take pictures so they can send them or comment with them. Are you guys proud of yourselves that you made a flower? That's so cool. Is anybody stressed out? That's normal. Sometimes it's hard work being creative. All right, I bet you all your flowers look amazing. So we're gonna put that to the side. That was the easy thing, you guys. Are you ready to make something else? Everybody, breathe. Okay, so I was looking through my kids' books, and I was like, what could we make? And I got green eggs and ham, because everybody knows the story of green eggs and ham, right? That darn Sam I Am is pushing his green eggs and ham on the other guy whose name I don't actually know. So there's this page in Green Eggs and Ham that has this picture that I really like. So it's a good visual of what the green eggs and ham look like. So we're gonna make green eggs and ham. I actually have green, but I don't have white. So you can make any color eggs and ham. It could be pink eggs and ham, it could be blue eggs and ham, it could be purple eggs and ham, black, whatever color you want. It doesn't matter. But then I also love, where is he at? Where is he at? That little fox. He's so cute, and I love foxes so much. So we're gonna make a fox too. That's gonna be a little tricky, so prepare yourself. But first, we're gonna make the green eggs and ham. So first, we need to make a plate. So choose any color you want. I'm gonna use my purple again. So you're gonna need it about the size of a bouncy ball again, okay? So let's see, like about this big, the clown nose, okay? So I'm gonna roll that into a nice ball. And again, see my Play-Doh's kind of dry, so it's cracking, so that means I need to knead it. Again, kneading means squishing and stretching. So I'm gonna knead my Play-Doh, squish it, stretch it to get it nice and soft and working together. And then once I've done that, I'm gonna roll it into a ball. I still have one little crack in there, but it's okay. It's gonna be fine. Okay, so I have this ball, okay? And I'm gonna put it in the palm of my hand and I'm gonna squish it. And I'm gonna squish it so that it can make a circle, and the circle's not perfect. And if you need your circle to be bigger, because this is a plate, all you have to do is kind of gently pinch it and stretch it out, okay? So that your circle is big enough to be a plate. I want it to be like an eye patch, like it's gonna cover my eye, okay? So this will be your plate. Ooh, there's another little fox lover in here. I am so excited. Okay, so we have a plate. We're gonna put our plate down. Okay, now we got to work on our eggs and ham, whatever color you want. So I will use green for my green eggs and ham, but I don't have any white, so I'm gonna use yellow. Again, you can use whatever color you want. So get your 2 colors ready that you're gonna use for your green eggs and ham. So we're gonna start with the white part of the egg, which for me, it's gonna be yellow. So whatever color you have for that. You're gonna need 2 pieces that are about the size of, maybe a little bit bigger than a corn kernel, but smaller than a marble, okay? So maybe like the size bigger than your pupil. I don't know, whatever you think that is. We're gonna need 2 pieces that size, okay? So a little bit bigger than corn. And you don't have to roll with your fingertips like I do. I'm just doing that so it's easier for you to see. If you have to use your whole hands, that's fine. So I have these 2 pieces, these 2 circles, and I'm going to squish them to flatten them. Oh, Danny went to go grab his white Play-Doh. We have to wait for Danny. He's grabbing his white Play-Doh. When you have your 2 little circles, you're gonna flatten them a little bit, okay? But again, leaving them kind of thick. And I don't want my circles to be perfect, because whoever makes a perfect circle egg? I've never seen a perfect circle egg before. That's maybe in pictures, but I don't think that's real. So I'm gonna take my little circle pieces and I'm just gonna kind of stretch them and pinch them so they're kind of abnormal, like that. And I'm gonna put it on my plate. Just put it on my plate. And then I'm gonna go back to my other one. I'm gonna kind of move it around, stretch it again so it's abnormal. I'm gonna put that on my plate. The awesome thing about Play-Doh is it sticks, but it's also easy to move. So if I decide I don't like where that is and I wanna move it, I can just pick it up and move it, okay? So I have the beginning of my eggs on my plate. Now we have to do the yolk part. Okay, so I'm actually gonna use green. You don't have to use green, whatever color you want, but we're gonna need 2 circle pieces that are about the size of a corn kernel, or like peas, the vegetable. Do you guys like vegetables? You're about to eat a lot of vegetables. Okay, so I have these 2 little circles, okay? And again, any color. And I'm going to push them onto the top of my egg whites, or in my case yellow, in the center, and I'm just going to gently push it so it still stays kind of 3D, but on the top, when you see it, it looks like an egg, okay? And I actually don't like where my eggs are. I changed my mind, so the cool thing is I can pick it up and move it, and I want my eggs to kind of be sitting on top of each other. Sam, I am. I do not like green eggs and ham. Okay, so we have our eggs done on our plate. They look delicious, I'm sure. Don't actually eat them. Play-Doh doesn't taste good. If you haven't tasted it before, trust me, it doesn't taste good. Okay, so now we need to make our ham. I will be using green. You could use any color. A pink ham, a black ham, an orange ham, whatever, okay? So I'm gonna need a size of a bouncy ball again, okay? So like that clown nose that we did earlier, you guys. So get a piece, and I'm probably gonna need this because I can feel already that it's kind of dry and it's not sticking together. Maybe you don't need to knead yours. Maybe yours is ready to go. I'm gonna roll it into a ball. And when I'm rolling it, I'm kind of pushing my hands together, kind of putting pressure on it to make it as smooth as possible. So I have my green ball, my clown nose, okay? So we have to make this into a ham. And the thing about a ham, see that funny shape? You turn it this way, it almost looks like a pear, okay? So we need to turn this into a pear. So again, you might have a way that's easier for you, but I'm gonna show you how I do it. I'm gonna hold my circle, and then with my pinching fingers, I'm gonna just kind of hold it in the center, and I'm gonna pinch it so that it looks like a pear almost right there. But see, this side does it. So then I need to hold it there and pinch that. And now I'm just gonna kind of roll those pinched areas so that it makes a pear shape all around. See? Nice, pretty pear. Now, this isn't gonna sit like this, it's gonna go sideways. And I need this part to be flat because the ham is carved, okay? So to do that, I'm just gonna hold it upside down like this, and I'm gonna take my thumb, and I'm just gonna kind of squish my thumb against the top or my fingertip to flatten it, okay? So then now I have a flat piece for the ham, okay? And so now I'm gonna put my ham right next to my eggs. Now the only thing that's missing is the bone in the center of the ham. So see, they have a little white bone in the center of the ham. I don't have white, so I'm gonna use yellow. So it's literally gonna be the smallest little, tiniest little piece. I don't even know what you would compare that to. An Orby, if you know what an Orby is. And I'm just going to put that in the center of my ham. And voila! I do not like green eggs and ham, Sam, I am. So we have green eggs and ham, okay? Is anybody stressed out? Are we good? Wiggle your fingers out, they're doing so much work. Okay, so you see a lot of our fondant stuff, or fondant, I keep saying fondant, sorry guys. Our Play-Doh creations start with other shapes. So our fox that we're gonna make, that's the hardest, but now you know that everything comes from shapes, okay? So let's take a look at this fox. Is he on the camera? There you go. So we need to concentrate on 4 basic parts. His head, his body, his tail, and his limbs. So his limbs are like his arms and his legs, and we're even going to add the ears into there. So we need to start with 4 pieces. Now, you can make your fox whatever color you want. I'm going to go with red, but again, whatever color you want. So I'm going to get my red, and I need 4 pieces to start with. So the body piece is going to be our biggest piece. That's going to be about the size of the bouncy ball, like the balls that we've been making, the clown noses. So I'm going to take 1 piece, and I'm going to roll it into a ball, and that's going to be my biggest piece, okay? Now, the other 3 pieces are going to be the same size as each other, but not as this. They're going to be a little bit smaller than this bouncy ball. So I'm thinking like the size of a marble, maybe. So, hang on, let's see. I'm comparing. Okay. So I'm going to make 3 pieces about the size of a marble. So in comparison, see our big bouncy ball, that will be the body. And then here's one of our extra pieces. See the size difference? Okay, so we have 1. Okay, now for our 3 pieces, we have 1. Got to make another one. That's about the same size as our smaller piece. So that'll be 2. And then we're going to make our last piece. And that will be 3. Okay. Do you have your 3 pieces and then your 1 big piece? Okay, so for the body, it's the biggest piece. We kind of have to do what we did to make our ham from our green eggs and ham. Okay? Oh, goodness. Play-Doh is a funny, funny, funny thing. It just wants to fly around and do crazy things. So the ham is shaped like a pear, remember? So we need to do that shape again for the body of the fox. So with your bigger bouncy ball, we're going to make that into a pear. So remember, I kind of went with my pictures on the top and I kind of pinched it so that it's still nice and round on the bottom. And then I turned it and I pinched it where I pinched it on the other side, and I kind of roll it. Okay, to make that nice pear shape. See? And I want that to stand up. So when I put it down on my tabletop, you just kind of push it down so that it stays standing. Now I need that top of the pear to be a little bit flat because the head has to attach to it. So I'm just going to hold it very gently, and then with my other finger, I'm just going to kind of push on it to make it flat, okay? Feeling good? Okay, now we're going to work on his tail. So we're going to grab one of our smaller pieces. And remember how we made our raindrops for when we made our rose? So for our smaller piece, roll your tops, make it into a raindrop again. If you don't roll and you pinch, that's okay too. However you can get it to be a raindrop, make a raindrop. Now this raindrop is way too short and chubby. So I'm going to need it to be a long, weird raindrop, okay? So I'm just going to kind of stretch it, or I'll just keep rolling the top because I want the bottom to be thick and then the top to get skinny. Okay, see? A long, weird raindrop. Okay? Now, I'm going to hold it between my fingers, or maybe if your fingers are small, you hold it between your hands. And I'm just going to gently squish it so that it becomes kind of flat, but it still has its shape. Okay? This is the bottom, this is the top. And we're going to push this against the back of our pear body. So I'm going to gently push it so that this is what it looks like on the back, but this is what it looks like on the front. Okay? So there's the little tail behind the body. Okay, now we're going to work on the head. So we could just keep it a circle and put it on top, but we're going to make it a little harder. Where's Teddy? Come here, Teddy. Come here. Come here, Teddy. I'm going to bring my dog so you can see, because he looks like a raggedy fox right now. Come on. Okay. Teddy needs a haircut. But do you see, he doesn't just have a circle head. Where's your eyes? There they are. See the side? See that muzzle? See his little muzzle sticking out with his nose? We kind of want to make that for the fox. Say hi. Say hi. Hi, 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 hi. He loves us staying in the house. Okay, so we're going to take our circle, and then we're going to make that little muzzle like what Teddy has for like a fox. So see? Oops, let's see. See how I kind of pulled out from the circle a little piece. And see, from the front you can't really tell, but from the side you can tell. So it's a little fox muzzle, and I'm just gonna kind of roll it so it's like that. And this is gonna be the front where his nose goes. So we're gonna put his head on top of his body. And Play-Doh you kind of have to push together, but it's tricky because you have to be gentle so you don't ruin your creation, but you want it to stick. Okay? So there's our little fox's head and his tail and his body. Okay, now we have to make his limbs. We have to make his arms, his legs, and we have to make his ears. So we're gonna grab our last little Play-Doh, okay? And we might not use this whole thing because you need 6 pieces, but first 4 are the same size. So the first 4 will be a little bit smaller than corn kernels, a little bit smaller than the pea vegetables. So you need 4 pieces like this. Okay, so there's 1. And if you ran out of the same color you were using, you could use different colors. Maybe your fox has many different colors in him. 2, 3, woo, and 4. So they're almost all the same size. These 2 are a little bit bigger. It'll work. Okay, so all of these we have to make into little mini caterpillars, just like before, not long skinny worms. They're a little bit chubby. Actually, they're gonna be so short and skinny, or not skinny, but so short and chubby, like this. They're gonna look like maggots or larvae. Tell your parents to show you a video of that later and learn some science. Ugh. Larvae, larva, I don't know. Don't quote me, kids. Okay. So we're gonna do that to all 4 pieces. Okay. All right, so now, my dogs are gonna bark because they hear people outside. Okay, so we have our 4 legs. So I'm going to take 2 of them and we're gonna make like the number 11 in front of our fox. So I'm just gonna push it right in front of him. And these are his legs sitting down. Whoops, that looks funny. Okay. Let's see. Woo. Mine's starting not to stick, guys. How's yours doing? Okay. So see, those are his front legs. Now his other 2 legs are gonna go horizontally. So they're gonna be sideways, okay? Like this. They're gonna sit this way and they're gonna sit on the side of his body. Okay? So it's a sitting fox. Oh my gosh, my head fell off. You don't have to pick up yours. I'm picking mine up so I can show you what's going on. But, okay. So see? The sitting fox. I'm gonna have to readjust that head because he's getting out of control. He doesn't want to be a fox. Okay. There we go. Now all we have to make is his ears and his eyes and his nose. But for his ears, you need 2 really tiny pieces. Again, like, I don't know how to explain this, guys. It's so small, like an Orby or a, I don't know, like a measle. Okay? Very, very small. So we need these 2 pieces. Now the tricky part about these 2 pieces is we have to make them into raindrops. And I know I taught you how to make raindrops earlier, and it might be a lot harder with these little tiny pieces. I'm using my fingertips. But once you have your raindrops, you just connect it to the top of the head and you kind of squish it on there, and you can make it more triangular after you connect it. And there, our little fox has ears. Okay, we're almost done. He needs eyes and a nose. I don't have any black. Maybe you have black. I don't. Maybe you want to use a different color. I'm going to use blue for my nose and ears, okay? So I'm going to take 3 little tiny pieces because this is a small fox. So look at how small that is. I'm just going to do 3 tiny pieces. And we're gonna push them on for the eyes Mine probably has crazy eyes, like a little. And then we're going to push one on the tip of his muzzle for a nose. Ah, and there he is. What kind of noise does a fox make? Meow? No. Oh, what does the fox say? I just realized. Never mind. Okay. So we have our fox, who's going to enjoy some green eggs and ham. And he just happens to be like in a garden by this really, really abnormally large flower. Maybe it has magical powers. I don't know. Now you guys know how to make things and create things with different shapes. Use your imagination and make a lot of fun other stuff. I would love to see pictures of your creations, what you made with me or what you make after this. Have fun, be creative. And the really cool thing about Play-Doh is you don't have to mix up your colors. It can all come off and you could package it back with the color it was, and so you don't have a mixed gross blob. Like, you can just undo everything and put it back where it belongs. That's so cool. I hope you guys had fun. We'll do this again next week, Tuesday. Same time, 10:30 a.m. It'll be a totally different lesson. Feel free to comment with things you want to learn. Share your pictures. Your parents can share your picture with us. On Instagram, our hashtag is Crumby Art. You can find us at Crumby_art here on Facebook. And later we will upload this video to YouTube so you can watch it again and again. I hope you guys had fun. It was nice hanging out with you and creating. Have a good day. Wash your hands. Behave.